Howdy folks, this is Tony here, and on this beautiful rainy day, I, as a minority man, am going to respond to Michael Bloomberg's comments. Now, a recent clip resurfaced where Michael Bloomberg was talking to the Aspen Institute in 2015, and he said that crime is mostly caused by young minority men between the ages of 16 and 25, and he said you have to target minority men, pat them down. He said he wants the police to target minority men, pat them down, check for their guns, and take their guns. Now, the worst part of what he said was you have to take the guns out of the hands of the people that are getting killed. He didn't say take the guns out of the hands of the killers. He said take the guns out of the hands of people getting killed. Here's the thing about Michael Bloomberg's comments. He is revealing what the strategy is for the Democrats, what their end goal is. Their end goal is that only the military and the police are allowed to own weapons. Everyone else is just a slave, a disarmed sitting duck, has no power to defend themselves. That is tyrannical, that is wicked, that is evil, that is against the Constitution, and that is satanic. Michael Bloomberg, you are a sick, evil bastard. Now, here's the thing. We're going to address the elephant in the room. There is a problem in minority communities, and people like Michael Bloomberg exploit this problem to advance a political agenda rather than actually address the problem. The problem is not that young man is brown or Hispanic or black or what have you. The problem in minority communities are Democrat policies and fatherlessness. That is the real problem. You want to make minority neighborhoods safer? You don't do that by getting rid of the Second Amendment. You do that by getting rid of the Democrats and their policies. You do it by getting rid of the fatherlessness. That's the real problem, folks. Now, here's the thing. I'm an expert on this subject. I grew up in inner city Washington, D.C. My neighborhood that I grew up in the Petworth area, was Hispanic and black. I myself am a minority. I identify first and foremost as a Native American, but I am not purely Native American. I am mixed with mulatto, Irish, and Mexican. So I'm a minority of minorities. Every bloodline I descend from has been oppressed at some point or another in history. And I grew up watching minorities be violent against each other. And you know what the real problem is? It has nothing to do with the Second Amendment. So don't go punishing innocent people who just want to protect their families for the sins of these people over here. Don't punish the innocent for the sins of the guilty. Here's the problem. Look at the data. If you look at the data, you'll see a very clear picture. White people only have a 30% rate of fatherlessness. With we Native Americans, it's like 50%. You look at Hispanics, I believe it ranges somewhere between 40 and 60%. With black people, 70% of young black children don't have their father in the home. That is the cause of the violence you see. It has nothing to do with, oh, well, black people are just inherently more stupid. That's not true. It has nothing to do with, all Hispanics are naturally more violent. It's not true. The problem is fatherlessness. I am a father. Let me explain to you the impact that the father has. The father is an inspiration for the kids. He teaches his young men how to be a man. When the father is the provider, he shows the young man how to work for a living. So the young man has attainable goals. He's not going to imitate and idealize the drug dealer and the NBA player and all these people who really aren't adding much to society. When the father is the protector, the kid feels safe and he doesn't feel the need to resort to a gang for protection and safety. When the father is in the home and he's actually helping build the kid's self-esteem, that kid doesn't feel the need to go out and overly assert himself by bullying other people. So you see, a lot of the violent behaviors that you see from young minority men are because they're not being protected by their fathers in the home, and so they basically take their pain out on someone else. They aggress on someone else. That's the real reason why you see a lot of violence in minority communities, because it's fact. Unfortunately, when you look especially among young black men, a young black man is more likely to die by the hands of another black man in a black neighborhood than he is by a white man in a white neighborhood. Facts. So you look at the representation in the prison system, over 80% of violent felons had no father in the home. So fatherlessness is really the problem. And this loops back around to my first point when I said get rid of the Democrats. Lyndon Baines Johnson's Great Society, his welfare programs where he incentivized black women and Hispanic women being single moms, all that did was give them more motivation to kick the father out of the home because you can't get the same financial benefits from the government if the father's involved. So basically Democrats have created a society that rewards fornication and single motherhood, and then they want to complain about the behavior of children who grew up with single moms whose parents were fornicators. You see, they create the problem that they claim to solve. The way you solve society's problems, especially among minority communities, is by increasing fathers in the home, increasing literacy, and getting rid of these welfare programs that incentivize irresponsible sex, where people are having sex outside of marriage and bringing illegitimate children into the world rather than taking care of them. And then they say, oh, well, just abort the child. Oh, well, now you're actually murdering children. Did you know that Margaret Sanger, the founder of Planned Parenthood, founded that organization with the idea of exterminating black babies? And how many Democrats support that? So I would ask you minority Democrats out there who would support a person like Michael Bloomberg or who would just vote Democrat in general, ask yourself, are your communities doing better under Democrat support? Because I guarantee you the answer to that is no. It's time that minorities woke up and kicked these sick, racist bastards to the curb, including, but not limited to, Michael Bloomberg. Michael Bloomberg, you're a sham, you're sick, and I hope your candidacy goes down in flames.